What has been grabbing my attention recently, do you know? In contrast to Bitcoin and even Ethereum, XRP has been dominating this cycle. And my goodness, that has really infuriated the cryptocurrency community. The Bitcoin maximalists appear to be the source of the most of the hostility. The entire situation reminds me of cycles from 2021, 2020, and even earlier. Look, there has been animosity toward XRP for years. At this point, it's really nothing new. However, it feels like someone has been adding fuel to the fire lately, man. Do you recall the date of that lawsuit's dismissal? Vitalik was ranting on Twitter about the SEC's impending arrival, calling XRP crap and other things. What XRP did to these folks truly baffles me. I'm not sure what type of trauma XRP or Ripple caused the Ethereum and Bitcoin folks, but they hate it for no apparent reason. Or perhaps, listen to me, there is a real explanation. Perhaps XRP poses a serious risk, due to the fact that it has already defeated Bitcoin this cycle. Ethereum has also been devastated by it. Furthermore, we're not talking about little margins here. With gains of roughly 63.5% over the last year, Ethereum is currently sitting pretty above 100%. But with XRP, we're talking about profits of 400% or more. Additionally, it once reached 500% in a single year. To be perfectly honest, if I were an Ethereum maximalist, I would also likely be concerned about XRP. Why the network's efficiency has increased by almost 10 times. Actually, when you think about it, there's a lot more than that. Take a look at what XRP Mikkel recently released. This is taken directly from a CME Group report that we have previously discussed, but it is worth mentioning again. XRP is 40 times quicker than Ethereum and 500 times faster than Bitcoin. CME Group refers to XRP's financial infrastructure as such. These folks are knowledgeable. They completely understand what's going on. Imagine this then. If I were a Bitcoin or Ethereum maximalist, I would be quite alarmed by all of the developments in the US cryptocurrency market, including businesses joining together, firms becoming engaged, and now the government supporting the entire technology for tokenization and payments. Please understand that Ethereum continues to dominate the market. With tokenization, stable currency, and other positive features, it has a lot of traction. The crucial question is, however, how long? I have been discussing this topic repeatedly. To be honest, I believe Ethereum is on the verge of exploding. I firmly think that adoption will begin to slow down, usage will decline, and these incredibly effective networks will eat up its supremacy. The XRP ledger is a prime illustration. I'm not attempting to be biased here, you see. It's not just about XRP taking over, in my opinion. The figures don't deceive, but there is some very amazing technology in the field. Compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP and XRPL are actually tens to hundreds of times more efficient. That's precisely what's frightening these maximalist audiences. This is where things get really crazy, though. This returns us to the original plan of action. Ripple has consistently targeted banks and large institutional players. In 2017 and 2018, XRP was branded as the banker's coin, and many completely hated it for it. When BlackRock promotes Bitcoin ETFs or Michael Saylor puts huge sums of money on Bitcoin, these same Bitcoin maximalists are jubilant. Consider how absurd that is. Because XRP was a part of a scheme to streamline finance by making banks more efficient, we were absolutely mocked. Oh no, Ripple's collaboration with large banks contradicts the basic intent of cryptocurrency. However, these same individuals are suddenly applauding when the same institutional players invest in Bitcoin. The level of hypocrisy is astounding. Then all of a sudden, BlackRock supports Bitcoin, major banks join, and everyone celebrates. There is absolutely no sense in it at all. The problem with this first idea of cryptocurrency is that Bitcoin was a huge escape from the established system and large banks. Guess what, though? A renegade developer sitting in their cellar, hoping to watch traditional banking go to pieces, did not build Bitcoin. Not at all. In reality, Bitcoin was developed as a massive experiment to gauge the potential success of the entire venture. I've always said this, you see. I really believe that the government was involved from the start. And to be honest, I believe that large banks were involved in this entire process from the beginning. This is something I've been saying for some time. When you think about cryptocurrency now, it's all quite clear. Everything is connected. Wallet IDs are actually enough to track transactions. This isn't a way out of conventional finance. It's not anonymous at all. All those debates about, oh, crypto was meant for this or it was originally designed for that, seem to have evaporated over time, in my opinion. All of them have simply crashed and burned out. Therefore, it is very absurd when these maximalists present their arguments to us now. As the entire world scrambles to buy as much Bitcoin as possible by using the debt and public equity markets, he is making this request. Why would the creators of XRP still sell? This is all due to Chris Larson's 10-day, $200 million sale of XRP in July. Naturally, he refers to it as the classic Bitcoin maxi move, exit liquidity. These real statistics from Crypto Arsenal, however, will astound you. Galaxy recently sold 80,000 Bitcoin to a client who was an insider whale. That amounts to 0.4% of the supply in circulation. Chris Larson, in the meantime, transferred 117.5 million XRP to exchanges, or just 0.2% of the total amount in circulation. You know what you hear about, though? Just the sale of XRP. No one is discussing the dumping of those 80,000 Bitcoin. Not at all. That one was radio silence. Oh my God, it's all about XRP being sold. That's precisely what makes me nuts. I sincerely hope you all had fun with this one. There is a ton of more free content on the way, so if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications.